What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today I'm going to be taking a look at this. So this is a watch I picked up from Amazon, and the reason why is because this thing has, well, the time I bought this, over 3,000 5-star reviews. So I thought, oh wow, why is this, so well reviewed? What makes it so good? I mean, it's quite affordable, which is obviously counts for it. But is it actually good, or are those reviews all paid for? That's what I'm going to be discovering today. So this one, I can't even remember the price, to be honest. I'll pop it on screen what I paid for it, but obviously price fluctuates quite a bit on Amazon. They're changing prices all the time. So yeah, current price on screen now is what I paid for it. And then I'll pop current price as well, so you can kind of see if it's changed. So yeah, let's just cover off sizes and stuff. So this is 43.6 diameter, so that is just from under this pusher up to the 50 right here. 45.7 including the crown. The lug to lug is a massive 52 millimeters. 12.7 thick, so that's not three bad, and 20 mil lug width. Case, I'm presuming it's probably going to be alloy at this price point. It's not going to be stainless steel. We do have a steel bracelet, but it's not of the best quality, which you'll see in a little bit. 136 gram though, sized up for me and my 6-inch wrist. We do have a 60 click bezel, which I'll show you in a minute. A pull push crown and a pop off case back. Again, more on that in a bit. Water resistance, I couldn't really see a thing. I've seen conflicting evidence there. So I'm going to call this allergic to water. So you're probably not going to want to get this one wet at all, because I think it probably would destroy it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the specifications. So let's actually start off with this bezel. And as you can see, it's an aluminium insert. We've got a little lume pip up there. And then we have markings all the way around to 15, and then numerals everywhere else. And it does play with the light quite nicely. You can just see it sort of shifts really quite well in line. But yeah, we've got like these metallic numerals and markings, which again, looks quite nice against this blue. And I actually do like the shade of blue that they've used. I think it's quite nice. My favourite part of this watch though has to be that dial though. It's a nice sunburst. It's pretty well done for the price point. And also, all the chronograph features, they're actually applied. I've seen some chronograph where the hands are actually painted on, but no, this is a fully functioning chronograph, which was quite surprising. You can also see we have some applied indices all the way around as well. Little tiny truncated ones at the 3, 6 and 9, obviously to make way for the subdials. Little triangle at the 12, and then little rectangles everywhere else. And they are lume filled, which I'll talk a little bit about in a bit. So you can see the subdials, again, we've got that sort of radial finish, but it's also sunburst as well. So it's like a mini sunburst in a big sunburst. Quite surprising. So far, I mean, it's looking pretty decent. Then you can see my first little gripe, is the date window sandwich there. Doesn't do anything for me. You can just see it. Yeah, you know how I feel about date windows, but they are my least favourite, where they squash them there. So handset, just high polish, not the best done, to be fair, at this price point. So we've got these fence post style hour and minute, and then a little arrow tipped second, again, lume filled. So for your subdials, you've got a 24-hour just there, a 60-second and a 60-minute, which I'll show you, how it works in a short while. So taking a look at the sides, high polish, not really going to go into it. It's not the best standard. And then this side, we have some very, very small pushers and a very, very tiny push-pull crown. And it is, yeah, not the easiest to use with those big crown guards. You can just see how small and kind of daft it looks in there, and you can tell the quartz inside is it's pretty cheap. Quickly flipping around to the case back, it's high polish, some etch specifications and a bit of design work. That's about your lot really, and it is pop off as well, which is probably why it's allergic to water. High polish on the lugs. Okay, I mean, you guys know how I feel about high polish. And then we have brushed outers and a polished inner. Now, the brushing is a little bit coarse, not the highest quality. And again, the polishing is not done to the best standard. But again, price point, you can't expect it all. Clasp, just pressed, brushed, and then brushed, which doesn't really match, but you know, anyway, it's probably just the cheapest one they could get a hold of. 3 micro adjust, which is perfectly fine. You know, we've got double pusher, security latch. You know what? It works and it does its job. So not really thingy. So now we get on to the complaints. And the first one is, well, the build and the bezel, just the quality of it as a whole. So, I mean, the construction, you know, a little bit jangly, a little bit cheap feeling. So yeah, there is that. There's also the bezel. So it's a 60 click, unidirectional. It sounds, yeah, not great, but watch this. It has some of the worst play I have ever seen. I mean, just look, when it clicks into place, you can rock it a click either way without it clicking. It's terrible. And then you put it back up, lines up okay, but then boom, you can knock it a click back, and you know, you're not supposed to be able to do that. And again, forward, look, I can click it back into place. It is shocking, and it's also, you know, a little bit of vertical wobble as well. So it's definitely not a good bezel. The actual rest of the quality though is, again, it's not great. I mean, like I've already mentioned, the bracelet is rattly and the finishing is not good. Also, this thing broke not 1, but 2 bracelet adjusters. I'll just get the spare links and I'll just show you how these links are actually constructed, because it's terrible. Right guys, so here we have the links that I've taken out to get it to fit me. And, you know, they all look quite normal. They look solid, decent-ish quality. But then if you look on the inside, look at this. It's sort of like a fake sort of solid one. And it's got this really weird thing that I've never seen before. And that is what broke 2 of my tools. Because the thingies don't line up properly with the pins that hold it in, your tool sort of slips in the little gap between them, and then you're like hammering it through to get it out. No. So I tried one of those twisty ones, I don't know the name for them. That went in, broke as well. So this bracelet design is junk. It is absolute trash. But it does have a little bit of a positive too, so it's not all mean. Let's take a look at the quartz movement though, and you can see it, you know, ticking away there. It does actually a surprisingly good job of hitting all its markers, which I was, you know, really surprised at. Not something I was expecting. I've seen, you know, where some Swiss quartz that don't do as good a job. But for a watch at this price point, it actually hits more markers than I was expecting. So I don't actually know what the quartz is inside it. I couldn't really find a definitive answer as to what it is. I'm presuming it's probably going to be some cheap Chinese, probably clone of a Seiko movement, I'm presuming. I don't really know though. It's definitely not going to be a Seiko movement, because that's probably worth more than the entire watch. So that's not really logical. So starting your chronograph, you can see the 60-second springs into life right at the bottom. And it is not a mecha quartz. You can see it's just a single tick instead of a sweep. So then you press the top one again, you see it stops. Press the bottom, which, you know, doesn't always work, and yeah, it fires back. Obviously, 1 full rotation of that, and that 60-minute moves as well. So yeah, it actually functions quite well. The buttons, though, they're not the best. You know, they're a little bit stiff, a little bit stiff and mushy, which I don't know how they've managed to achieve that, but it is. So yeah, it works, it's functional, but it's not the best in use. And then we take a look at this crown, and God, it's not great. You sort of have to get your fingernail in behind it, and then one pop out, and in fact it's actually popped out twice. I only pulled it once, but anyway. So the full out is your time. And do you know what? It's not the greatest. You know, you can actually feel the the crown guards, and you can just see how loose it is as well. I mean, look at that. The crown guards, you know, do impede your use quite a bit, so you're bumping your fingers just because they're stupidly small. and positioned the crown is. Don't know what they were thinking. It's probably they designed the watch and then needed, oh, I need a movement. I'm just going to put it in, and it's like, oh, this don't fit. And then, oh, yeah, I can bet it was a bit of a nightmare, and we've ended up with this. Anyway, so one push. I don't know if that's actually gone all the way back in or not. Oh no, there you go. You can see the date is going now. And you can see, look, it doesn't sort of line up. You see it there? And then you have to roll it back a little bit to get it to align. Yeah, it's functional, but it's not the best. So let's pop this on wrist and, you know, show you what it wears like now. Yeah, so it's a big watch though, so don't expect this to fit me all that well, because I only have a slim 6-inch wrist. So if I just pop that on, you can see I actually get a pretty decent fit. Oh, sorry, I've just knocked the camera. Last adjustment hole. And it does actually create a nice little snug fit. But you can see I do get a big overhang. But then again, this watch is a big watch. It's definitely not designed for someone with slender wrists like myself. I think the diameter is just about, you know, where I can just about pull that off. But the lug-to-lug makes it way too big. Luckily the end links though, they don't really protrude that much. You can just see they don't really stick out all that much. But this is actually probably the most redeeming feature of this watch, is how comfortable it is. I was genuinely surprised at how nice it wore. Go figure. I mean, the watch is built not very well, not that functional, but it works and it's comfy. I was not expecting that. I think it has to do with the, you know, the bracelet being so loose. For some reason, they're just more comfortable than a well-built one, which is, you know, surprising actually. So now we're going to talk the last thing before we round up, and that is the loom. And all I'm going to say about it is it's got some. And I'm not really going to say any more on that. It's got loom, yeah. So anyway, to answer my original question, why does this have so many 5-star reviews? And to be honest, I don't know. I think it's probably because it's cheap. Or maybe there's a lot of paid reviews going on, because there is no way on earth this is a 5-star watch. I'd give this a 3.5 on a good day, just because it's nice to wear. But yeah, the build quality is a thing. The bezel is awful. The loom is pointless. They may as well not even have put it on. But yeah, the only real redeeming feature is the chronograph works, sort of, and it's comfortable. So I don't know why. I'm thinking there is a lot of paid reviews going on, because that does happen a lot on Amazon. And I think that is probably why this has so many 5-star reviews. Or maybe people just really like it because it's cheap. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this different style of video, a little bit more casual, no fancy editing and stuff like that. So let me know, do you prefer this style? Do you want to see it more often? Or do you prefer my traditional style of videos? Let me know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't be expecting to see this on the channel again. I'm probably going to, I might just donate it to charity or something like that. But yeah, that's it guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.